Prior to the installation of the UR system here, we were working with part-time labor and less skilled labor trying to keep machines running. What we really appreciated about Phillips' approach with our sales engineers was the idea that we needed to get the system functioning and then get it optimized. My name is Dennis Tobash. I'm the Industrial Services Manager here at WTTI. WTTI is an accredited laboratory. We test and train welders and inspectors, and we manufacture material for the training and testing of welders. Manpower was the biggest obstacle we have, and then hand in hand with manpower was a skills gap to bring in an operator versus a machinist.
WTTI has been a Phillips Corporation customer for probably 10 years, parts and service. There was a lot of communication in the start about the parts and how are you going to handle the quantities with the people you have. Do you have enough bodies on the floor to do this? A lot of the times the answer is no. And then I got Devin involved.
When I first came to WTTI, it started with Dennis wanted to get more efficient. They were getting about 4 hours of runtime, but somebody had to be staying in front of that machine.
Automation really became the only realistic path forward on this operation. Lead time and price are definitely the two biggest factors that are affecting our orders. The lathe behind us is the first system that we decided to automate here.
This was their first robot. We wanted to keep it as less complicated as we could.
The evaluation and planning process was pretty extensive. We had quite a few meetings with our sales engineers. We discussed with the Phillips staff, trying to help them understand what we needed. The system that we ended up installing was a major factor just because of our constraints on space. We had talked industrial robots versus cobots, and the footprint that this system takes up is considerably smaller than an industrial robot.
We couldn't just do a table. You just weren't going to put enough parts on a single level. So we decided to come up with a storage system, which is the cabinet. There's many cabinets on the market. However, we designed our own because we didn't want the robot to be stressed by opening up and closing that drawer. So we had a custom built, pneumatically controlled drawer system made that could handle their heaviest parts. This is 100% a custom solution tailored to all of our conversations.
I'm Chris Molly. I'm an applications engineer on the OPTO team. We do everything from training all the way through full projects, and I happen to specialize on the robotics. With WTTI, along with input from the customer and Devin, we designed the cell layout, the function of the cell, and how it's all going to flow together. We came up with the process flow, designed it, build, and install, and final testing, all the way through training. At Phillips, we collaborated with one of our partners, another vendor, to help build the drawer system used for the in-feed and out-feed. The robot starts from the bottom drawer, working its way to the top, searching for parts until a part is found. Then it grabs the part from the drawer system, loads the machine, takes the part out of the machine, and sets it back in the drawer system.
The production that is happening on the lathe, about 75% of it now is handled by the automation system. With our small diameter parts, we can get 6-7 hours out of that before we have to come and tend to it. The big motivating factor was really stability in production and predictability in lead times. Once this system is up and running, we know how many parts we're going to get out in an hour, in a day, in a week. So this was our first foray into automation, so it was very intimidating. The OPTO team spent a significant amount of time training us on troubleshooting, but also on operation of the system. It's a major undertaking, but it's very doable with the right partner behind you in implementation.